I just realized that I didn't have the stream on. So welcome to Saket's Coven. Let's try this again, my friends. Yes, once again, welcome to Saket's Coven. I hope you all are doing well. Tonight we're back with our Utterly Wicked by Dorothy Morrison. Hexes, Curses, and Other Unsavory Notions. Today I'm going to share Chapter 7 with you. The bad, the nasty, and the downright ugly. And at the end, I'll give my own unsavory comments. Before we begin, while I've used the terms hex and curse interchangeably throughout this book, I've done so as a matter of convenience. But it's important to note that most practitioners don't use them in that fashion. They view the terms as two entirely separate entities with completely different meanings, and I'd be remiss in my duties as an author if I failed to share this information. For most practitioners, a curse relies solely upon the spoken word, or in the case of the evil eye, a personal gesture. They say that nothing else is necessary when cursing someone, as the emotion behind the words or act is the force that drives it. Of course, this means that the curse must be delivered with a heaping helping of anger or hatred to hit its mark, or even more to have a true staying power. According to this contingent, a hex is a product of a spell or ritual, and while it is certainly directed and powered by the conventional state of the emotional state of the practitioner, it also makes use of additional aids such as personal effects, powders, washes, charms, and so forth. Of course, putting a ritual together takes a lot more than simply letting a few words fly from the tongue. But even so, having this extra help is often well worth the effort for a couple of reasons. First, it allows for a cooling off period and time to think things through before actually putting the magic in motion. Second, there is no need to shoulder the whole burden of driving the magic to its mark, since the properties of other ingredients assist with that. And third, it completely eliminates the need to come to a screeching halt right in the middle of a good hissy fit, just in order to curse the target. All things considered, it's no wonder the hexes have become the more popular form of magic for these particular practitioners. But here's when things get dicey. There's another magical sector that subscribes to hexes for good or bad theory. It's their belief that a hex is nothing more than a symbol, and in the case of Pennsylvania Dutch hex signs, can be used to deliver magic on both ends of the spectrum. A curse, they say, is any magic powered by the fuel of ill intent. There's also a sector who believes that if the desired result even borders upon the unsavory, a related Bible verse must be incorporated into the effort to achieve effectiveness. Another sector believes that specific deities must be called upon to get results, and so on and so on and so on. Trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong is enough to make your head spin. After months of research, though I did finally come to a conclusion, no matter how you slice it or dress it for the altar, it's still all a matter of semantics. Everybody's right, nobody's wrong. So when it comes to choosing a school of thought, just pick whichever most closely resembles your own way of thinking and know that you'll do just fine. No matter how many schools of thought there are, nor how diverse the thinking there is. However, one common thread that runs through them all, simply put, it is focus is key when it comes to working magic. And nothing, not taglocks, nor potions, nor deities themselves, is going to make your magic work if you can't manage it successfully. So if you're having trouble with this, I urge you to work with the exercises listed at the end of chapter 4 before going any further. Otherwise, the magical collection that follows isn't going to do you one damn bit of good. It's only going to serve to waste your time and energy. And no one I know has enough of either to waste. One other thing, I don't perform hexes and curses for other people, and you shouldn't either. Yes, I know that sounds self-righteous, but to be perfectly honest, I don't care. I'd much rather weather an accusation than be forced to deal with the possibility of my words being twisted. I'd much rather weather that than be faced with possibly the possibility of a misunderstanding. Or even worse, the possibility of having failed you. To that end, let me make this perfectly clear. Do not, under any circumstances, perform a hex or curse for someone else. Some of the reasons are obvious, and we've already touched on them. First, no one is truly capable of feeling the depth of someone else's angst. And that level of feeling is absolutely necessary for complete and total success. Second, forming a connection to somebody else's craft is not a place you want to go. It doesn't matter how much you care for them or how much you want to see them relieved of their current dilemma. Doing so is not only tantamount to taking their place in the magical arena and absorbing more residue than you can ever get rid of, but also making their decisions for them. And you simply don't have the right to do that. No one does. But if that's not enough to stop you, then try this on for size. Nobody likes a busybody. Okay, I'll admit it. That's a little harsh. But since no truer statement has ever been spoken, or been more applicable to the subject matter at hand, it had to be said. The truth is that we, as members of the human race, are do-gooders at heart, and there's nothing wrong with that. We worry about the fact that our brother is screwing over his partner and refuses to see the problem. We worry about our daughter, who is in an abusive marriage and can't seem to summon the courage to leave. We worry about our best friend who's being taken advantage of financially. And on and on and on. Our worries are completely justified. In fact, there would be something drastically wrong with us if we weren't at all concerned. However, these sorts of concerns have no personal place in the magical arena. More to the point, though, they have no personal place in the spiritual arena. And when we take things to the magical level for someone else, when we take it upon ourselves to butt into his or her business, it is the spiritual realm in which we get into trouble. You see, just as each person on this earth is a complete and separate individual, the same is true of the lives they've been offered. No two people share precisely the same sort of life, or the same life lessons. They don't have the same path to choose from, and don't meet the same trials and tribulations along the way. Each is set up on an individual basis, specifically designed with one person in mind. And because of that, each person is also given a particular set of talents and strengths to draw upon in living that life and learning its lessons. This means that there's not a single person on this earth who's been dealt a hand they cannot play. It's just a matter of deciding which card to play and when. Of course, the cards in our hands aren't always winners. Sometimes we don't even have good choices. Still in all, though, we have to play what we have been dealt, whether we want to or not, and to do so to the best of our ability. Otherwise, we can't learn our lessons, and the life we've been given becomes a farce. That brings me back to the busybody remark. If we take things to the magical level for someone else, we are, in essence, taking control of their lives. We are playing their hands for them, in all probability, keeping them from learning their life lessons. It doesn't matter that we're doing it for the right reasons. What does matter is that we're way out of line in doing those. We love a great injustice. So when it comes to hexes and curses, do everyone near and dear to you a favor. Keep your nose out of their business and plan it squarely in your own life. If you don't, know that while you definitely pay a price for your indiscretion, they're the only ones who will pay the most, and it will cost them much more than they ever dreamed possible. Finally, what you'll find on the following pages is a collection of curses, hexes, magical manipulations, and related information. And while each and every spell included works beautifully as written, nothing works as well as the magical effort you've designed specifically for yourself. For that reason, don't be afraid to expand upon these and restructure them to suit your own purpose and lifestyle. Know that your own version will not only work, but it's likely to be even more personally effective than the version that someone else can perform for you. The end. And so that ends chapter 7 of Utterly Wicked. And what do I think about this chapter? Well, while certainly I agree to not delve into others' business, but when asked and requested, it totally depends on the practitioner. Do they have what it takes? Can they stand the rain? Will there be any rain for them? And so, when we delve into practices, we should always think long and hard about our decisions. But once we've become firm in our decisions, move forward with no regrets. Thank you for spending your time with Cirquette's Coven. Until the next time, peace